What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Dense Pixels Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Brad, joined by my co-hosts, Micah and Terrence. So we are finally past the big gaming festivals and console releases and genre-defining RPGs that we've played through, so we can actually get back to like a regular-ass episode of this show. As you might expect, the news is kind of light because we are on the heels of Summer Game Fest. But the post office is full, so we'll get to that later in the show. But we also have games that we can talk about. I've been kind of dipping through the backlog a little bit because there's not a lot of like new games that have come out that I've been really jonesing to play in the past couple of weeks. So I'm trying to get through a lot of these games that are just sitting in my Steam account that I've gotten through various means, mostly through like bundles and things like that. One game that I did not get through a bundle, though, that really caught me. I was surprised I enjoyed it as much as I am, and that is Manor Lords. Manor Lords made some noise last year when it released into early access. It's like a city builder that's set in a medieval setting. It was very notable because most of the production leading up to early access was done by a solo dev before it got out to a wider team. And it was surprising because the game visually and from like a system standpoint is really fucking polished. Like it looks like if you first saw a trailer for it and then found out that like a solo dev did a lot of that work for a long time, you'd be shocked because the game, like I said, it just looks really good for what it is. And what it is interesting. It's still in early access. It's been in early access for about a little more than a year at this point. And it's in a good place. It's still got a long way to go. But I just like a lot of the like accoutrement that the game has, because most city builders that you play, when you're building stuff, you're usually building on a grid, right? Like you have a grid map that you're working on, and all of the roads that you create and all of the buildings that you create are generally very square. Like they might look, a little bit different and have some decoration around them, but for the most part, they're pretty uniform in size. And just kind of in layout, because that's easier to design and program for. And one of the like striking things about Manor Lords is that you can really freewheel how the game, like how everything in the city is built, right? So like if you like a roadway and like a very natural looking like curved dirt road, that kind of thing, like you can then build in like a housing plot. Instead of just laying individual houses, you actually draw like a plot of a block, basically of land, and you define like the 4 points of the block, and the game will make the houses like work inside of that area that you make. And it doesn't have to be like a perfect rectangle that you're setting these things in. And it just makes the landscape look really natural, basically. It's a bit more difficult game. It's kind of a production chain sort of game, kind of like the Anno games are, where, you have people coming and you need them to work these basic production buildings to get basic resources like wood and stone and stuff like that, and use those to build your basic buildings. And the basic buildings will produce stuff that you need to make better buildings, and, those things you need to upgrade your settlements, to upgrade your settlement level, which gets you different perks and stuff like that. The thing that Manor Lords does that I find is really cool is they also have this sort of RTS style combat in the game as well, where you're trying to actually spread out on this broader map and claim provinces from other, in the main scenario, just one other player that you're playing as, but one player on the map. And, doing that requires you to kind of build up a settlement, build it up to a certain level to gain influence and to gain some money in your treasury so that you can then like settle another part of the map. And occasionally you'll have like bandit raids, and you'll have sometimes the other player's militia will come in and fight you. And you have to like raise a militia from your settlers essentially to go combat them. And it has a very light RTS style combat to it, kind of like a very baby version of what you'd find in like a Total War game, for example, where you're actually like you have different units and you're setting their formations and setting like how they're going to attack, and you can use like very rudimentary tactics to help defeat some of those forces and things like that. It's not an easy game. It's definitely not a good first city building experience if that's something you're looking forward to, because the game does work on a seasonal cycle, and obviously since it's like a medieval themed game, the winters can be very harsh and you can easily deplete like your natural resource pools that you have that you're settled around you. Plus you might just not have certain resources that you need, so you have to trade for them. But to trade, you need money, and it's hard to earn money sometimes. So it's a game that definitely is very deliberately paced. But I found it really enjoyable. And this is one of those games that I play for, a couple hours and I don't realize it. Right, like several, 4 hours goes by and I don't realize it's been 4 hours and now it's 1 o'clock in the morning and I need to go to bed because I have to work the next day. So, Manor Lords is good, and considering that it is where it's at in early access, I can only imagine where it's going to end up when they add more things. Because the other thing that's cool about this game is that they literally have almost like a tech tree, so that as your settlement levels up, you unlock new, like you can specialize the settlement in different ways. Like you can specialize and unlock a lot of like farming perks or trading perks, and things of that nature to kind of upgrade that settlement. Those are unique to each settlement that you build. So like I said, really cool game. If you're if you like city builders, but you don't really like the formulaic progression that happens in a lot of the more popular games in the genre, I would definitely give Manor Lords a look. Right now, it's only on PC. I don't know if it'll end up on consoles when it fully releases, which still seems a ways away because again, it's mostly one dude that's still like building out the game. Obviously, he has support now for a lot of different assets, but the core gameplay is still being designed, I think, by one guy. So it might be in early access for a while. And the publisher, to their credit, is not like trying to rush him. They're letting him cook basically because they know that they have something pretty special with the game. So
Publishers should let more people do that.
You would think and it's published by Hooded Horse, which is a publisher that like whenever they come out with anything nowadays, like I'm checking it out. I'm at least giving it a look because they've put their name behind a lot of really solid titles in the strategy space over the past couple of years. So, Terrence, you've been playing a game that I am very interested to hear about, and that is The Altars.
Yeah, I remember seeing The Altars 2 years ago, I think it was, initially. I don't know how long ago it was. And it looked like a cool concept. Basically, it's just like a resource management game. You play this guy named Jan. He crash lands on a planet, and the entire crew is dead except for him. And he's on this giant wheel, this base that's attached to like a giant wheel, and you have to escape the sun. You have a 7-day cycle to escape the sun before it comes up and basically fries you. And in order to do this, you have to collect resources. You got to go outside, collect resources. And then when you get inside the base, you have to kind of like Fallout Shelter. You have to build rooms. But the difference in this game is in order to get people to help you, you actually use this resource called Rapidium to create altars of yourself. So every person that's in the game, I've only created 2 so far. I haven't gotten too far into the game. So every person in the game that's helping you accomplish your goal is you that chose a different life path. And this one guy is like playing 9 different characters. I think there's 9 of them that you can create. You can't create all 9 in one playthrough. So this is a game that you'll play multiple times. It's cool. I enjoy it. The gameplay, there are no enemies per se, but it's just kind of like I have to collect this stuff to build more things to get out of here. But the best part about it is like interacting with yourself, because the first person that you clone, the first thing you clone is a sheep named Molly, which if you're a person of a certain age, you know what that's reference to. You know that reference. But the second person is the first clone of yourself, and you have a conversation with them. And like as you have conversations with your characters, you have to answer them. You have to answer them, and sometimes they won't like your answers, and they'll like be pissed off at you. So like I answered my first altar in a way where he was just like really angry at me for like 2 days, right? Because you bring him back to life, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on?" and you're like, well, I kind of need help because I can't get this thing moving, and you're here. Like, what do you mean I'm here? You're like, well, you're a bit of a clone. And he's like, are you fucking with me? This is kind of how the conversation goes. And the final question, I can't remember what the question was, but I answered it in such a way. It was like, look, I'm gonna help you, but leave me the fuck alone, right? So he helps you, but then as the game continues, you clone more people, and you have to kind of keep them content on top of collecting resources so you can finish the game. I believe you can like create a game room, you can watch movies and shit like that. It's a cool game. Like it doesn't do anything necessarily new, but the way in which they do it is a genius concept because it's you who chose different life paths to become like a technician or a botanist or a doctor and things like that. It's fun. I like it. It's on Game Pass. If you have a Game Pass, check it out. I think it's only like $40 if you want to pick it up. But it's cool. Like it's been getting pretty decent reviews. I think it's like mostly positive on Steam right now. That's fun. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. It's just a fun game. But I kind of stopped playing it because I went back to when I stopped playing it because I went to play the Moonlighter 2 demo.
Mm-hmm.
And
which I messaged you about, and it was
did,
not. It was not a positive.
Yeah, man,
message.
I don't like the new shop shit. So I went back to play the original.
Yeah.
I went back and put like 12 hours into the original game.
And so for those who don't remember it, because Terrence talked about this game a couple years ago, and he talked me into getting it, and I really liked it as well. Moonlighter was the kind of like dungeon delving, like roguelike sort of game where like half of the game was like a top-down Zelda style like action game where you were going into these dungeons and trying to go as deep as you can and collect resources and treasures and stuff like that you would then sell in the other part of the game where you would actually manage like a shop. And kind of the whole point of the game was that you would set the prices for these different finds that you would get to try to get as much money as you can while keeping customers happy. And like super rare stuff was really valuable. And then you would use that to buy, new weapons, more powerful weapons and armor so that you could go into harder level dungeons to get more valuable stuff. And so we go.
Just the loop. You upgrade your
Right.
shop, you upgrade the town.
Right. Very, very satisfying loop. So they're coming out with a sequel. And the sequel is it now is like 3D combat. Like so the combat takes place still on like a fixed camera kind of thing, but it's like an isometric view, but still on a 3D plane. And the combat's a little bit more involved. But the shop minigame has been completely changed and dumbed down, or at least in the demo, to the point where it's like completely uninteresting, because now in the shop minigame, like the things that you find out in the dungeons all have fixed prices, and the only thing that you can do is you have these like little modifier thing, like items that you earn by selling goods, where you can either increase the price of something by a flat amount or increase it by like a percentage. And kind of the whole thing with the shop game now is that you're trying to find ways to be able to apply like multiple of these of these modifiers onto like your most expensive items so that you can really upgrade how much it goes for. And because I guess they knew that wasn't nearly as satisfying as kind of like trying to keep the shop during the hustle and bustle of people coming in and shopping during the day, they added some really pointless like shop cleaning mini games that you would do while customers are coming in and out of the store.
I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Right, like I played that demo like
I'm like, what is going on?
I played that demo for like 45 minutes and I uninstalled it immediately, and I'm so like that was one of the games I was most looking forward to coming out this year, and I could not be cooler on that game after checking out the demo during the Next Fest.
And I like the combat. That's the problem. Like I really like the combat. I like the combat more in Moonlighter 2 than 1, because 1 is just basic fucking Legend of Zelda combat,
Yeah.
which is
and the combat's cool. Like they did the thing that they did in the first game, where it's still like it feels clumsy because like you're playing as a shopkeeper that's like kind of in over his head, like which you say, oh, it's miserable. No, you don't want this guy to be a precision fighter. Like that kind of undermines the whole conceit of the game. but just really disappointing. You know what is good? If you want another demo to check out, and I think it's still available even past the next fest being ended, I checked out a game called Absalom, Absolum, which is basically like it's a Golden Axe roguelike, essentially. It's Golden Axe gameplay, Dragon Crown gameplay, but just done in a very firm roguelike setting. And that's a lot of fun. I recommend checking out Absalom if you want to check out a demo for that. And that game's coming out soon. And that was a nice surprise that I didn't know anything about before the next fest. It was a lot of fun. I think it can be played cooperatively as well. You play online with other people. So it's good shit. So I like to talk about on this show making the poor life decision to creep up to the precipice of certain genres of games, and then finding a game that kind of gets me into that genre. So, like, I don't know if you guys are familiar. There's like a subgenre of strategy games that are like factory games, essentially, where you're building out like factories and it's like an efficiency simulator in a lot of ways. The most famous of which is probably Factorio. The other one that is really popular in the space is called Satisfactory, which is basically Factorio, but it's in a 3D space.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
This sounds like a dad game genre.
It is. It is.
And that title is a dad joke title.
It is.
Dad game genre.
Yeah.
You know what? I appreciate
it. Yeah. But I've seen previews and I've watched reviews of those games, and they look very intimidating to me. Like they look very complicated, and I'm not ready for that level of complication. But I was still interested in the genre, and so I found what I think is probably the best entry point for this genre, and that is the Shapez, unfortunately spelled with a Z, franchise. The first game, Shapez, is like a 2D, like it's a top-down one of these. But the newer one, Shapez 2, which is what I've been playing, which is in early access right now, is a 3D version of the same thing. And in this game, you are literally taking shapes from these like repositories and building out a factory system to configure them in a specific way to fulfill like these goals that you have, and you're just depositing them into this void essentially, and you're trying to get so many of them. But it's more like a puzzle game, really, because when the game starts, you have two basic style shapes. You have a 2x2 square, and you have a circle that is in 4 quadrants essentially, and they give you a bunch of like different tools that you can install on your assembly line, like a cutter to separate in half, and a rotator to rotate the shape, and a stacker so you can stack 2 shapes on top of one another. And literally the whole game is just you trying to fulfill these demands by creating ever complex patterns and shape builds that you need in order to fulfill the next requirement. And as you progress through the game, they'll unlock new modules that you can install in your factory. This is for me, this is like the good brain shit. Like, this is just very satisfying to kind of figure this puzzle stuff out. It's a great game to play while you're listening to something in the background. I like finding ways to not only build the thing you need, but also, build it in such a way that you don't have a massive fucking gross conveyor belts all over the place. Like, everything is very streamlined and optimized, and the way they do it is smart, because as you progress through each module, it's basically taking like, hey, take this shape that you're already making and just add a little something to it, and so they lead you along in a very smart manner. This is how fucking broke brained I am. I've literally restarted this game 3 times now, because I've gotten like an hour, 90 minutes into my factory, and I'm like, holy shit, like, if I had done it this way and made it like, it would have been more efficient. Like, I want to start over now so that I can kind of just go from the beginning. Like, it's like Micah creating a fucking RPG character where I'm gonna see I'm gonna spend all this time optimizing it in the way, in the best way possible.
I mean, look, I appreciate the obsessive compulsiveness,
Right.
and the need to want to do things in the most efficient manner
Yeah.
possible.
And as you go through the game, you unlock like a train service so that you can like rapidly deliver, because the game, like when you start, it takes place in like this void of space essentially, and you have this like one little platform. But as the game goes along, like you expand to like these massive platforms, and then they start adding like, well, what if the shapes were different colors, and you have to combine different colors together, and so it just keeps drip feeding like little bit of extra things here and there. And it's just really, like I said, if you're programmed a certain way, I guess, it's just really interesting and fun to play. So if you have seen like Factorio or Satisfactory and you say, oh, this scares me, as I do, check out Shapes, because Shapes might be a good one of those to kind of get started with. I've liked it a lot so far.
I'm looking at.
And how much is it? I don't.
I think Shapes 2 is 25. I know the first one's really cheap. So like if you kind of want to dip your toes in, but you're not willing to pay 25 for an early access game, then check out the first one. But Shapes 2 is on, I think it's 25. It goes on sale a lot. I bought it for less than that. So definitely give that a look see.
Strange how like the indie game space and like the AA space is like, you know, putting AAA game space to shame.
Yeah, it's because it's where the ideas are.
$25. Right, it's $25. The
Right.
Alters is like $50. It's a AA game.
Yeah, and we'll give you dozens and dozens of hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That'll keep you engaged. So
It's so infuriating. And meanwhile, what game came out last week that looked like an absolute?
oh,
piece of
Mind's
shit?
Eye, aka one of the worst rated games of the fucking year.
Like, yo,
Or
I mean, I
ever.
don't think that's supposed to be a AAA game, but like, come on, yo.
Nah,
What are you doing?
When the dude who made the game said, if this game gets any low scores, it's a psyop from Rockstar getting people to review the game poorly. I was like, well, the writing's on the wall.
Yeah,
And it's written
I've seen it, and I'm like, that's the dude from Mafia 3 in that game. He looks fucking weird with hair. Looks very strange with hair. Like that game looks. I remember seeing a trailer for it, and then I saw gameplay for it, and I'm like, what do you do?
apparently not much. And even
you
that
do
is
exactly what
yeah.
the gameplay is. You run around and shoot shit. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I did that 20 years ago.
I think on OpenCritic it has like a 38 right now. Mind's Eye does, out of 100.
It's a buggy mess.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to recreate the wheel, right? But like, do something. Like this is a game like
Poor
2005.
IO Interactive, man. That might single-handedly scare them from publishing anyone else's games ever again. Like that's the first game that they published outside of their development studios, and
that's a new development studio, right?
it is, but it comes from it. It's headed by Leslie Benzies,
Yeah,
who
he-
is the architect of GTA
Whatever.
Online. So people were just like, oh, like this is gonna be some hot shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't it originally like a crypto game or what was it?
It
It was
might have
supposed to
been.
be originally a crypto or what was the other one? Meme coin or no NFT?
Yeah.
game.
Well,
That's
and
what it
that
was
studio
originally
is also working on another game, like that's supposed to come out, I think, next year.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I mean, who
They're
knows?
about to be closed in a month because you can't. Again, it may have been better if they like left it in the oven a little bit longer. If it wasn't as buggy and just as basic as you can possibly get for a game to be. But not only is it basic as fuck, it's incredibly buggy.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Well, their next
terribly
game-
buggy.
Their next game is
So-
supposed to be an MMO.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Like I don't see that happening at
Yeah.
all because I don't think they're gonna be a company anymore.
I mean, sounds to me like Leslie Benzies might be a real Vince Russo situation going on, if you know what I mean. like a real good piece to have if you have someone above them that's that's key, that's got the reins on, but you cut them loose
Yeah.
and
As soon as you give them the book, it's like, I'm the champ now. I'm like, all right, guys.
That shit,
we'll close out this section. I'm very excited to hear Terrence's thoughts on Dense Pixels 2024 Game of the Year.
But yeah, that's right. It was y'all
Metaphor,
game.
yeah, Metaphor ReFantazio.
I mean, it's not clear obscure, so it's like that's it. That's all I got. Like I can imagine that the story is pretty good, right? Whatever. That's what y'all like the most about it, the characters and the story.
Yeah.
It's turn based with like nothing extra to it. So it's not even on my hard drive anymore. Like, I deleted that shit. Like, I can't like it's Atlas. They make excellent games, but like this is not for me. So no, thank you. Like I need something. If it's going to be a turn-based game, I need something. I just do at this point. I can't just play just basic ass turn-based RPGs.
It's not even
Can't do
that you need something else, right? Because like that's not it. I think the thing with Metaphor is that, I mean, not Metaphor, with Clear Obscure is that it kind of radically reinvented turn-based strategy. Like everyone has their own version of turn-based strategy, but it's still like very turn-based and very like passive. Whereas I think the thing for you really enjoyed the most was like the skill-based part of the turn-based. And like you said, other games have done it, but these people have kind of not many, and and these people have really kind of perfected it. Whereas Metaphor, like, it has its own like tweaks to
like the front and back row, and
but
have your little,
yeah,
whatever
it's
the fuck
not.
they call.
But it's still very classic, right? It's still like a passive, like
Yeah.
Like they have an option where you can just restart a fight
Once, yes.
because it
once.
like that you can just once a match.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in case you go in and just completely fuck your like pregame essentially, but realize like you messed up. So it gives you another chance to do right essentially. But yeah, you only get one shot at doing that before you do it.
Oh, before you just gotta go.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, it's weird. So they know you're just gonna fuck this whole thing up. You gotta strategize before you get in there. And I know you have to do that for Claire, but like if you're good enough,
Yeah, you can fight past it. Metaphor, and the thing that me, Carrie, and Micah really like about it, it's a systems game. Like Atlas has the systems game where it's like try to figure out how you can break this combat and get as many extra actions as possible and exploit weaknesses and stuff like that. Like that's if you're not interested in that aspect of it, then it's not gonna.
I may not have gotten far enough because again, I was like, these characters are fucking weird. I don't really.
Well, it also doesn't help that Atlas games. I mean, basically, like you have to get through like the first dungeon is almost like the prologue of the game, right? And that takes like 8 hours to
very long
to do.
I'm like, bro, this is way. I remember playing Persona 3, fucking 20 years ago. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm enjoying it, but like, they talking too fucking much.
Yeah.
And then you got the timing based thing. You gotta plan out your day and all that. I'm like, all right, man. Okay. Whatever, dude. Like I'm more of an action guy. I posted a video of the creator of Clair Obscur playing fucking Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah, I saw that video.
Getting like triple S ranks. I'm like, so this is where fucking what's his name comes from? His combat style comes from. Verso? It's fucking Dante.
Yeah.
So like he and I we think alike. That's why I like Clair Obscur so much. So yeah, I wasn't really feeling Metaphor ReFantazio. I might give it another chance, but who knows? If I give it another chance and like get into like the breaking of the game, like you guys say, I might enjoy it. But maybe it was just too close to me finishing Clair Obscur. I was like, fuck this, I ain't playing this shit.
I think
probably
it's too
what it was.
close to you finishing Clair Obscura. I think the story, as good as it is, and as good as I think it is, I think that given the times we live in right now, stories are just gonna make you mad. like this blonde-haired, rich white guy just wants to claim who fools people into thinking that he's like a man of the people. Like it's just really weird right now. It's really weird.
Terrence, did you play the demo for Ninja Gaiden Ragebound during Next Fest?
No, I didn't even know there was a demo.
Oh, you should. Let me see if it's still up. Because if it is, you should definitely check it out. Because I'm on the fence about it. But that's because I don't like playing games that have really high skill ceilings a lot. But it seems right up your alley. So it's still available. So you can definitely check that out. It was pretty fun.
The only demo I played was Moonlighter 2, and but, yeah, I'm gonna check that out. I'll download that.
Yep.
Finish it. Hopefully the system will run it. It should. Doesn't seem like it's.
I would 100%. Pretty sure it can handle a pixel based like that style of game. So, all right. Well, let's take a quick ad break, and when we come back, we'll dig into what little news we have in this post SGF malaise. So first out of the gate for the news, Nintendo Switch 2 is officially the largest console launch ever, selling 3.5 million units in its first 4 days, which exceeds the PlayStation 5's previous record of 2.1 million units back in 2020. Honestly, I think this is more of a reflection of Nintendo's ability to produce a shitload of Switch 2s before it hit the marketplace and make sure that the market was well supplied ahead of possible price increases due to tariffs. So
yeah, like I said, I was able to easily get one, like without pre-ordering, and I was amazed. Like it was the first time in a very in like decades where I think I was able to just get a console, near first day, like the day after it releases. And yeah, good for them. Good for Japanese efficiency.
Well, the Vietnamese efficiency in this case, I think, because that's where my console was produced, according to the box. That's one of the things I did check when when it came in. I was just curious to see what country it came from. Obviously, the U.S.-based ones were in Vietnam. Also, kind of speaks highly of Nintendo's ability to be able to still sell a console based on almost nothing but hype alone, considering that Mario Kart World is like the only game that came out that's new, and the other games that people are playing are Zelda games that came out 2 and 8 years ago, but they look and run amazingly now. So
this just proves that people don't know how to speak with their wallet.
Probably true.
That's all this proves.
Probably true.
How many units?
3.5 million.
That's fucking ridiculous. Because look, the system is about as powerful as what, a PlayStation 4?
Maybe a little bit more actually. Actually, a lot of developers.
DLSS in it now, right? Doesn't it?
Well, yeah, a lot of developers say that it's actually might be closer to the Xbox Series S in terms of like raw, raw output.
Doesn't have those extra bells and whistles like
right.
PC was having it. So yeah, I mean, okay, but it's Nintendo, so y'all niggas gonna be paying $80 for your games.
Look, man.
Have fucking fun.
Look, that Nintendo Magic, like it's that company. It's just they got the kids, man. They got them. It's the Disney of video. Like, my son he was just here a second ago. He was just like, "Can I play Mario Kart?" I'm like, "All right." Like he's played the thing more than I have. Because and it's just something about it. He just likes it, and he likes all the different characters. He likes who he likes, and he just wants to play. And he plays free roam. He doesn't even race anymore. He's just like, "Daddy, can I test drive?" Yeah, he's just like,
I gotta tell you, like in listening to podcasts and just talking to people that have played Mario Kart World, I think the problem with the free roam, Micah, is just that we're too fucking gamery. Because every person that I've talked to who plays games casually, like your son, my wife, like people who don't really play games are like, "Oh, free roam's amazing. It's excellent."
he loves it.
Yeah.
What do you do with it? Do you find coins or something?
You do. You find coins and medallions, and they have these like challenges that you can run up and do in the world and stuff like that to get like stickers. But it's pretty sparse, but I think for some people, especially people that don't play games, like, you know how chaotic Mario Kart is, like, kind of being able to cruise around and
I
not
kind of
be,
hate Mario Kart.
yeah,
honestly,
not feel
'cause
pressured, right? It's really appealing
Yeah.
to a lot of people. So
and it works on him. He's just like he's in his own world. He's like, oh no, I gotta catch the train. Like, no, you don't.
so he's making up games himself.
He's just making shit up. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
just making stuff up. But like that's
Yeah.
like, helping with his imagination and stuff like that. Whereas like, we are very much like, yeah, but the goal, right? Like, where's the princess? Where's the
Yeah.
flag? I gotta jump on the flagpole and go in the castle and kill the turtle to save the princess. Like, what's going on? And he's just chilling. And look, I see the magic, right? Like, I can't be mad at it. I
Right.
see the magic.
and they're not stupid, by the way, because like that busted ass like tech demo welcome tour that should have come free installed on the
Shoulda
console.
came with it. I didn't buy it. It
Right,
shoulda
I
came with it.
didn't either. It cost $10 to buy. It's the number 2 selling game on the eShop behind Mario Kart.
Of course.
Because people are so hard up for shit to play, they're just like, oh, like I want to check out this tech demo. And I've seen people play it. It's not good, I don't think. Like, like it's it's barely a game. And compare that with like Astro's Playroom, which came installed on PS5 and was like, I think, my number 3 game of that year, essentially, even though it was a glorified 5-hour like, look what our controller can do thing. But it was awesome. So
Okay.
yeah.
How broke is America if they just show, like, I know this is worldwide, but like if niggas are just purchasing systems with no games on them in the States.
I
much
think
money
I
do
think a
people
lot
really
of the
have?
US I
Like
think a lot of the
$500.
US Canada stuff especially is really just the fear of price increases, because like we're in uncharted waters now where console prices are going up, not down, as time goes along. And so I think people looked at this and are just like, look, I'm gonna buy this anyway. I might as well buy it now where I know it's $500, because next year it might be 600 or more. And so people are just like, yeah, I know there's nothing to play right now, but I know the games will come. Like, Nintendo is definitely going to put out their bangers and stuff like that. And I think that's what a lot of it is. At least in the U.S., I think that's what's motivating a lot of the purchasing decisions for a lot of folks. So yeah.
And they'll got y'all again.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're not. We know who we are.
Yeah,
We
man.
know who we are.
I don't even. I got nothing. Not even gonna bullshit.
Yeah.
Of course.
Look, Wednesday they're doing a Nintendo Direct specifically on Donkey Kong Bonanza. I can't wait to watch that shit and find the next thing I'm dropping fucking $70 on to play. It's gonna be amazing. So it's gonna be very cool. Some good news. U.S. voice actors who had been striking against industry due to the use of AI have reached a tentative agreement with key video game publishers, which they have suspended their strike, which has lasted for nearly a year, after coming to a agreed upon usage of AI within the industry, ensuring that SAG-AFTRA actors will be properly compensated for AI usage, essentially, in the space. So this is good. I hope the terms are everything that they were kind of looking for with what they were trying to achieve, by making sure that companies don't take the easy and cheap way out, and ensure that voice actors will continue to be a part of this space, and an important part of this space, because the AI cannot duplicate what human beings can do. Did any of you guys see that? Ironically, during the Green Games showcase, there was just this AI slop game that was featured that looked like a Hearthstone knockoff with nothing but AI generated assets. I don't remember what it's called, but it's one of the grossest things that I've ever fucking seen in my entire life.
I watched. What did I watch this for? I don't think I watched the Summer Games Fest. I watched the PlayStation and I watched the Xbox. And I saw like highlights from everything else. But no, I didn't see that. I think I'm seeing like IGN or GameSpot. I swear to God, I watched a review for something, and I'm pretty sure they used a fucking AI voice. I was like, there's no way. Like, no, he was talking about that fighting game, the Invincible fighting game. It sounded like an AI voice.
Yeah, that voice. Yeah, that voice
preview.
did sound
Did you
like
hear it?
AI.
Did you?
Yeah, I did hear it. It did.
I was
It
like,
does
what the
sound
fuck
like
is
AI.
going on?
And I saw some people commenting like, "Is this AI?" Like, I know
Yeah.
IGN has been doing this thing at the end of their reviews now, where they do like a little interview with the person who reviewed the product, the game or the movie, just to like show you like, "Hey, I'm a real person, and here are my expanded thoughts on, and here's a
Ain't
little
do that shit for
backstory
that one.
about me." But they didn't do it for that, right? They didn't do it for that. So it's weird, man. Like you can kind of, but that's the thing, right? You can hear it, right?
Yeah.
You can hear it, which is why I'm glad these we're pro worker, right? And so this is good. I'm glad that these people are getting what they feel they're owed, or at least made some sort of compromise. But you gotta watch out, man, because like these people are gonna these companies, they're gonna find a way, man. And you can't let them just kind of like steal jobs and shit. Like I know people like God love him, but Jay is very much an AI person, and it's like, yo, what are you doing? Like find you can do this without using this stuff, but
Timberland
it's
is starting
easy.
to use AI for his beats, yeah. That's a goddamn shame, man. He fucking took a beat that somebody made and used it, and they was like, it's fair use. It's like, but no, that's not how beats work. It's like this beat just came out like last year, dog. Like, what are we talking about? You can't. It was the beat. It was just like sped up.
Yeah.
And he just took it. It's an AI program that they just kind of put text into. I don't know how it works, and it comes out like a beat. And this person made a beat, and someone took that person's beat and fed it into the AI machine, and Timbaland took it and used it in one of his beats. And I'm like, you're better than this, nigga. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, what are you? Right. Timbaland is like,
But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Theirs goes. Dun, 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 dun,
I was about to say he vanilla iced
and
it.
ours goes. Dun, 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 dun,
like,
dun.
nah, man, it's
Not
the
the
beat.
same.
It's got the dude's
Yo,
fucking,
I have never seen like people that were surprised that fucking Rob Van Winkle is a fucking Trump supporter should not have been surprised if they had seen that interview because that defense that defense of ripping off fucking Under Pressure is the most Trumpian shit that I've ever seen in my entire life. If you've never seen it, just look up like Vanilla Ice like defends Ice Ice Baby like sampling, and it's quite something to watch him like
he added one note.
Yeah.
And that was it. And he was like, it's different. Like, no, it ain't.
Yeah.
No, it ain't. Or yeah, like this AI shit again. I don't like it.
By the way, I found the game. And again, this was shown during the Green Game Showcase, a showcase of games that's supposed to be about like eco consciousness. It's called Eloin Quest of Time. Again, like watch this trailer. There's not a single fucking asset in this trailer that was not made by that was made by a human person. Everything is fucking like Mid-Journey generated image bullshit. And like the gameplay is like super derivative. I'm pretty sure it's got NFTs because it's described as a play to thrive game where fun meets impact. So
what is that?
That's a great question, Terrence. I couldn't gun to my head. I couldn't tell you what that phrase is supposed to mean. So
it even looks like it's even moving. Like AI. Oh God, dude.
yeah, it's real bad. It's real bad. So again, like if you want to see what our AI future and what the AI zealots are like, hey, this could be the future of games industry. Go check out Eloin Quest of Time and see what some people would like the future of the games industry to be.
Trouble.
Yep. Final piece of news. So Lars Wingefors, who was the CEO of Embracer Group, and who was quite famous for spending a shitload of money during COVID to acquire a shitload of game studios and then shutting down most of them because they overspent, said, you know what? It's time for me to step aside as CEO of the Embracer Group because I feel that my talents can be better served elsewhere. And so he's now going to move into a new role that he's going to be primarily focused on mergers and acquisitions for the Embracer Group. So basically, he can continue acquiring a shitload of studios that the new CEO will have the privilege of shutting down as time goes along.
Could you imagine, like, you find your calling and your calling is being fucking a virus? Just sucking up everything that is good and then spitting out what you don't want. Like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know Pac-Man was a job title. But it's fucking weird, man.
At least Pac-Man kept down what he ate. It's not like he vomits everything up at the end of the stage. You know? So
How do these people sleep at night?
on a big pile of money, Terrence, on like a Scrooge McDuck gold coin bed is how they do it.
Acquire this. Oh well, you didn't do what we wanted you to do. You're going to close you. My job here is done. On to the next one. Like, what the fuck? You're just like, you. Okay, all right.
Well, you didn't do anything. Did not.
Right? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Man.
Speaking of Simpsons memes, like Lars Wingefors basically did the equivalent of moving the town 7 miles over because he turned the existing town into a fucking landfill. So yeah, Phil Rogers, who was formerly the CEO of Crystal Dynamics, is going to take over for him as new CEO of Embracer Group. So hopefully Phil Rogers will be a little bit more measured in some of his strategic decisions going forward, so that game studios that get acquired by Embracer Group don't have a fucking death sentence hanging over their heads. That would be swell. So
he oversaw the Marvel game, right?
I guess technically, yeah, he did. So,
well, we'll see.
But Square published that game, so that could also be Square's fault as well.
Oh, well,
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it being their fault too.
all right.
So that's it for the news. We're gonna take one more break, and then when we come back, the Dense Pixels post office. So if you are not a member of our Discord, what are you doing? Go to densepixels.com/fans. Join up. One of the perks is not only do you get to talk to listeners of the show, but you can ask us questions in a channel that we call the Post Office that we answer on the show every week. A bit of a backlog here of questions because we haven't been able to do them for the last couple weeks with other things going on. So start with Cam. Rumor has it that Roman Reigns is up for a role in the upcoming Street Fighter movie. Surprisingly, the rumored role is Akuma. Good idea or bad idea?
I think everything about a Street Fighter movie that is not that Street Fighter animated movie from the 90s is a bad idea.
How dare you? How dare you? You and I both are enjoyers of the 1994 live action Street Fighter film.
Well, that is I mean, that's a cut above everything. That's on its own. Pedestal.
It's true.
Right? Like, that's on its own pedestal. We're not big The Legend of Chun-Li fans here.
No, no, certainly not.
And if we're gonna take a Street Fighter movie as serious as we can, I don't know, man. It's a bad idea. Everything about it's a bad idea. Everything about it's a bad idea because they're gonna try and do like callbacks to the cocaine fueled one from the 90s and this is a bad idea. And Roman Reigns,
what the
Akuma?
Fuck?
What?
It doesn't even make sense.
What are you talking
Nah,
about?
I
You
know.
got you
Rage
guys
doesn't
you
know
guys don't
martial
have the
arts.
version of Street Fighter where when Akuma does like the raging demon, he does like the ooh ah like right afterwards.
Also, like, if we're gonna
No.
do like Street Fighter is just a game full of comical stereotypes, of good nature, all in good fun, right? Normally I'm not a guy that's like, well, if this person is black, then he has to be black, and if this person is white, he has to be white. But like, if your name is Akuma, I kind of feel like you should be Japanese. Maybe, you know, maybe have a little bit in it. And I know, like he's got like people are like, oh, well, he's Samoan. He's Floridian, guys. He's Floridian. He's from Pensacola. All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
that supersedes, I guess, the
Yeah, yo,
Hey, what is
the
he? He's like
Samoanness.
Samoan and Italian or something like that? Isn't his mom Italian? Or his
something
father?
like
What?
that.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I don't
he's,
like anything. I don't like anything about this movie, and I
Yeah, I
like
don't.
Street Fighter, but I'm not one of those people that's like, I'm gonna go see anything Street Fighter. Like, nah,
Well,
We don't need a movie.
good news is that
Basically.
every video game movie that gets suggested usually ends up in development hell nowadays anyway. So we might not even see this movie
Yeah.
see the light of day.
Good.
So don't worry about it.
good. Also, this needs to be a TV series. What the fuck are we doing? This needs to be a TV series. You're not gonna establish like, here's Shadaloo and here's Bison and here are the good guys who like walk around in karate gis all the time, and it's like, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. It needs to be a series.
Mad Coco G asks, having started the most recent Shadowrun game, and again digging its high fantasy plus cyberpunk genre mashing, could the series benefit by going a more action RPG route like Dragon Age instead of the niche tactics games to get a more mass appeal? How familiar are either of you with Shadowrun? I have some familiarity with the Shadowrun license.
I
No.
know it's in tactics game, and I don't like those. Or
Yeah.
CRPG/tactics.
Yeah,
So I've not played any of them. So no, thank you. I don't. Like, if it were in more action game, I might try it.
yeah.
You know.
Yes, yeah. Shadowrun's. I think it started, if I'm not mistaken, as a tabletop RPG, and still
I remember
is.
Shadowrun from like the fucking 90s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it
it's been out
started.
for a very long time.
Yeah, it's been around a while. And it is a cool setting. Like it's a cyberpunk setting, but there's like fantasy races and magic and shit like that. So like it's a neat genre bend. But yeah, like I think putting it in a genre of gameplay that's more accessible to people would absolutely, I think, and help it reach more people would absolutely be a benefit. Now, you obviously piss off your diehards by doing that, because I think people that care about Shadowrun probably want to see that game live exclusively as a CRPG. But you just have to do it well. I mean, that's the key point. Like a lot of games, have slapped their license onto an odd property, but if the game is good, people will flock to it. Again, like Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the best-selling games of this generation, and I would imagine that probably 90% of the people that played it are people that never touched a CRPG before in their life. But the game was so good and such quality and got so much buzz that people were just like, well, I've got to check this fucking game out. You know what I mean? So if you make something good, people will come to it. That's the key point there. CCAT asks, if you were creating your ideal RPG, what game mechanics would it have?
I think the best RPG mechanics are tied directly to story. If you have like Lost Odyssey,
Mhm.
where some of those characters are immortal, but some aren't, and if one of your immortal characters die, they can come back, but you are penalized with them being down for a few turns, so you have to stay alive in order to get that person back up. And if your immortal characters die and your immortal characters die, then like they won't come back because the game will theoretically lock your, your immortal characters back up, so they, and essentially you would have to start the game over. Look, Clear Obscure kind of, I mean, I know it's an easy answer, but like,
That's my answer. Like, well, it
yeah,
depends on what kind of RPG you're talking about. Is it action RPG, like
yeah.
a Bethesda type RPG, turn-based RPG.
Also,
And I don't
you
know.
I knew a guy who said that every game is an RPG because he's a
Because you're
pedant.
playing a role.
Because you're playing a role, and he's a pedant. And he's like, well, I'm playing the role of a Mario, so this
How is
a role
how
playing
how is Tetris an RPG in that sense? Like, are you playing the role of like
You're
the
playing
the
role of someone
omnipotent
that's-
god who's rotating the blocks and dropping them into the field? Okay, that doesn't pass the sniff test there.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I have found, Claire Obscure did a pretty good job of this too, I would say. I don't know if this is mechanics as much as it is just kind of like game structure. But like, you don't have to have a shitload of items for players as long as you make every item that you give them meaningful. You know what I mean? Like one of the things that I appreciated about Claire Obscure is that even if there were a lot of weapons that I got that I wasn't going to personally use, I'm sure every weapon has a use case in some build that somebody made somewhere in that game. And that's pretty good. And they weren't raining on you. Like, by the end of the game, like, each character had like, maybe 10 or 12 weapons that you had. But all of them did a very specific thing. And all of them were catered towards, working in specific builds. And I only used but 2 of them for every character. But that's okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause I found the 2 that worked for what I was trying to do, and I was able to do it effectively. So, like, especially in games that are like I feel like this works okay in Diablo because the game is literally have the systems built around it, and other ARPGs are the same way. But not every game needs to be a fucking looter, guys. You know what I mean? Like as much fun as it is to see like the one gun out of 500 in Borderlands that's really cool and does some really funky shit that you like to use, it's not worth sorting through the other 499 that are garbage or like that I don't even want to pick up because it's so fucking useless.
Right, and once I get to a certain level in a game, don't give me don't do that, because it's gonna piss me off. Now I know that like in ARPGs, you get to a point where like, okay, just don't show that shit anymore.
Right.
I don't even think Diablo lets you do that.
Diablo does not have a loot filter, and it really could fucking
Right,
use
like
one.
what the fuck, man? Like, this shit's obnoxious. Like, I'm level 175. Why are you still dropping gray loot?
Yep.
I'm not gonna pick it up. Not gonna use it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that just give me a loot filter. I like action RPGs. I'm more of an action RPG guy. If we're talking about RPGs, I like first-person RPGs. Turn-based RPGs, again, you got to give me something extra. And like you said, like too much loot is just, I don't like sorting through all that shit. The Pictos, there's like 1,000 of those. I wish there was like some way to sort those, to make it a little bit more streamlined, quality of life.
Yeah, you
That'd
can
be really
sort 'em,
cool.
but
There's so many of them.
yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, it's very rudimentary. Like late in the game, I started using the tabs where it's like, all right, just show me the offensive ones. Like that's all I
Defense,
want to see.
offense,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like that need to be a little bit more specific as far as the type of RPG. But I guess ideal RPG, I just like action RPGs. Give me a loot filter, and just give me shit to do that isn't like repetitive. But then again, ARPGs are repetitive. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to.
Yeah, but they're like I find quest repetitive. Like if we never get another like, hey, can you find my wallet quest in a game ever again? Like that's like it wouldn't be too soon. I'm so tired of fetch quests, man. So tired of it. And every RPG does it. So
Gotta pad out that time.
you do, but you don't. Actually, you don't. Be respectful of my time. T-Wash asks, what are some of your favorite art styles in games? They mentioned Skullgirls and the Street Fighter 3 art style.
Third Strike was.
I do
That game
love
still looks so good.
I do love a good sprite based art style still.
I love over exaggerated sprite based games, like Street Fighter 3, like with like the animation is just so fluid.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks dope. Like Street
Well,
Fighter
because it's timeless.
25 years old.
It's timeless. That's why it works, is because it is a specific, like, that's the problem with games trying to be like not photorealistic, but to try to looking as more realistic, is because in 5 years, like, your game's gonna look old as dirt. Like when you go back and revisit it.
Yeah, it really is timeless, right? Because like you see where you do that donkey kick, and it's like, oh shit, like I'm in the future, bro. Like it's so fluid, and like the impact of his Shinsho, it still doesn't. It still like feels like the most impactful Shinsho. Like you got all these like Shinshos in these later games that are like, oh, look at all this
Like
choreography.
super cinematic.
Whoa, whoa. Nah, yo, a punch to the gut and and then fuck you. Like, god damn. Like it's dope. Any Vanillaware game. I really like Vanillaware's art style, man. I think it's beautiful. And I'll play even a game that I'm not like into. Like I never picked up Unicorn Overlord or whatever the hell that game was. But I always wanted to play it just because it looks good. So any Vanillaware game I think is dope. I'm sick and tired of like cell shading, you know, like Borderlands and stuff like that. Like it all looks the same to me, you know. I don't know what else off the top of my head, but yeah, any Vanillaware game.
Cam asks, now that Micah has finally gotten his way and a hard-working person of color has been defeated by a white Austrian who became famous in Germany, who do you people want to see as the king and queen of the ring? I am so fucking lost on WWE right now. I could not even tell you who's in the tournament at the moment.
Yeah, it kind of sucks right now. You know why it sucks, bro? You know why you fell off? Have you fallen off in the past 50 some odd days, Brad?
I have.
Have you? Oh, really? I
51? Has it been 51 days? Has it been exactly 50? No, actually, no, about 60, like 58 days now?
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why you really haven't wanted to watch wrestling for a while.
That nigga sucks, yo. I'm sorry. He fucking sucks, bro.
Look, I am not as anti Jey Uso as these two are, because you know I'm not a racist, one might say, against Jey Uso. And you know, no, the reason why I'm not watching WWE is because they're making it really easy to not watch WWE, because people of imports at the company keep popping up publicly in places that I don't really care to see them. And if you force me to confront real life issues that I'm not necessarily happy about, conflating it with your sports entertainment package, it's gonna turn me off a little bit. I gotta say, like, I don't need a picture of the McMahon Helmsleys visiting the office of the guy who's trying to destroy the health and well-being of the entire country. That's not something I need to see, or want to see, or want to think about, or have to grapple with, no pun intended, or reckon with.
Ask me anything about vaccines, because I don't, you know. Like I wish.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't think I've ever heard anyone do that well.
Kill him.
So
I got a couple.
Are you trying to tell me that the woman who said that philanthropy is the future of marketing is someone who you wouldn't really trust, and you'd be surprised that they'd be hanging out with these people? Like it's like, I get it, man.
I was about to go on a rant about fucking W, because I watch it, but like I'm fucking like TKO is destroying the WWE on top of, I guess, I don't know what the fuck
in some ways
what Triple H is doing. No, like nah, yo, they got Fireball advertisements on the fucking ladders.
Yeah, man. Like
Fireball
everything is an ad,
whiskey.
yo.
They got.
I wouldn't-
They have the
I
Slim
wouldn't
Jim
know.
tables, and they have
I
Slim
wouldn't
Jim
know.
tables,
Remember-
Brad.
Remember, Brad, when they were like, "Hey, we're gonna put the Prime logo in the middle
Yeah,
of the ring."
yeah. Now it's like every. It looks like a boxing ring now,
It
basically.
looks. It
looks like a UFC ring.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's
Yeah.
horrible. It's like 10 ads on the mat, and the turnbuckles have ads on them, bro. The turnbuckles have 7-11 ads on them.
You know, they have Slim Jim tables. I'm not joking.
Jesus Christ!
It says Slim Jim on the tables.
Like the announce tables, or just like the regular
No,
tables?
the tables that you
Oh,
pull out
no.
that you pull out to jump to
Snap into,
tables.
Brad, to snap into.
Oh.
Into that table, and just as if you were to snap into a Slim Jim.
I mean, that's
It's
not
bad.
that's not bad from a marketing standpoint, but it's gross. Then
It's real bad.
Yeah.
Like, this is like cup noodle in Final Fantasy enraging to me, man. Like it's gross. It's gross. Every match, bro. The Cricket Wireless King of the Ring match of the night. Like, all right.
Yo,
All right. God damn.
The Money in the Bank briefcase had Cash App on the motherfucker at that night. I was like, yo, what are we doing? Yo? I'm like, I feel like they're going to milk the WWE for what it's worth, and within a few years they're going to sell it to somebody, and it might be the fucking Saudis. Who knows? But the one thing that made me like, I was looking at something because they keep talking about gates. I know we're getting off on a fucking tangent, but like this is really bothering me. They keep talking about gates, and Micah always says they didn't make the fucking arenas any bigger, right? So I decided to take a look. WrestleMania 39, right?
Mhm.
2 years ago.
Yes.
Do you know how much the tickets cost? Front row tickets, like right.
Oh,
in
front row tickets?
No, front row tickets for WrestleMania 39. Do you know how much?
I would say anywhere from like $700 to $1,000.
Oh, that's conservative. I would say at least $5,000.
No, they were $1,000.
Okay.
That's how much they cost. 2 years later, WrestleMania 41. You know how much those tickets cost?
$5,000.
$25,000.
Whoa, man!
What the fuck?
Wait, is that direct sale? Is that direct
$25,000.
sale or resale?
Some of them, some people paid up to $30,000 for their tickets, for front row tickets.
That's
Get outta
crazy.
here, yo.
That's
And
crazy.
2 years ago, they were $1,000. Was the highest price you would pay for a front row seat for a WrestleMania. So they charge 30 times the price. That's why the gates are so fucking high. So you like, if you're a regular person, you can't even afford it.
Well, and
Like it's not even like you can save up. Like who's saving up $25,000 to go to WrestleMania and sit up
and to
front?
be
You
to be
can't do it.
clear, like this, it's not just WWE that's afflicted with this. Like I have not been to a Caps game in a while, and we finally were just like my wife and I this past season were just like, man, we got to get down to DC for a fucking Caps game. Well, it's been years since we've been down there, and I went to look at tickets. And now granted, when I first started going, the team was dog shit, right? So like the and we sit upstairs, so like the the tickets were cheap. But I remember when I was first going to Caps games, like I was paying like $25 to $30 a ticket to go watch hockey game, and the price would go up a little bit as the team got better, but it still wasn't crazy. Now, like upper deck seats at the Capital One Center for the Capitals hockey are like $85+ a piece. And that's not even counting like the fees and shit like that you then have to pay on top of that by getting through like fucking Ticketmaster or whatever. So we didn't go because I'm just like, I'm not paying that much to go to fucking hockey. Like elite, like Oriole games I go to because A, they have cheaper seating areas because there's more games. And also B, because my wife gets tickets from work for free. So like I've been to a bunch of Oriole games, but I haven't fucking paid to go to one in a real fucking long
I
time.
used to go to Orioles games as a kid because my father used to get tickets from fucking work. We used to sit right behind the fucking dugout.
Right, and that's where her company seats are too. Like we're like six rows back basically. So, but and other sports are also doing like the ad shit, right? Like I think every major sport in the U.S. aside from the NFL now have a sponsor or two on the players' jerseys or helmets nowadays. So like you see that more and more. There's certainly more like advertisements in ballparks that you see on the TV screen and things of that nature as well. So it's not a unique problem, but man, WWE went like 0 to 60 on that shit more than I've seen anyone do it.
Insane.
Yeah.
I saw that. I'm like, yo, you just charged 30 times the amount that you charged 2 years ago.
Right,
That's
and
insane.
you're getting a shitload of money from like more money from sponsors because obviously like you know, to your point, every fucking premium live event match is sponsored by somebody, and you're saying that they're putting ads now on the fucking gimmicks that they're fucking pulling out like for matches and
And
shit
to be
like that.
fair, the fucking in-ring action, I've been saying this shit for the last year, ain't that good, yo. It's just not. Like they don't seem to know how to like go on the fly. They don't seem to be able to like improvise. They fuck up a spot, they just botch that shit. Okay. You just saw it botch
and then
it terribly.
start over. And then start over.
Like, what are you doing?
Come on, man.
Just WWE, they, like you said, they're making it kind of like, what the fuck are y'all doing? And I don't know if anyone asked a question about fucking R-Truth, but
They asked the question that was asked is they asked to give our favorite memories, but that was before the comeback.
I didn't have any favorite memories of that nigga because I hated his fucking character.
Oh,
I hated that Sambo ass fucking character.
I got a favorite member.
I couldn't stand it.
We used to, he used to be called K Quick, right?
Yes.
Yeah, back in the
This
day.
was a long time ago. Back when Jay used to watch wrestling. I used to go over his house for SmackDown. He used to come over my house for Raw or something like that. And he used to go by K Quick. And I don't know where it started, but people just started calling him Jay Quick. And he could not stand it.
I still have a photoshopped image somewhere of Jay's face on K Quick.
Yeah, man, because he couldn't, because he look, Ron Killing's the person I'm sure is a very nice man, but he played the magical Negro to a T. And
He wasn't like that as K Quick. He didn't do that
Right.
until he came back after TNA, which he was very good in, as fucking R-Truth. And then he just played that fucking character for 17 years, however long it's been. I've always hated that character. So when they let him go, I was like, that's weird. He just wrestled fucking John Cena. That's kind of odd.
Mhm.
And then everybody's all of a sudden like, oh my God, they let him go. What is going on? He was so awesome. I'm like, okay. And then people were like, he was like Vince McMahon's favorite, one of Vince McMahon's favorite. I'm like, that doesn't make it any fucking better for me. Like, so just this magical Negro making him dancing and making him laugh. Fuck that. I didn't like any of that. I hated his character. So I'm like, I was hoping when he got rehired that he would take like a fucking, a New Jack route, not like,
I mean, isn't that kind of what he's doing?
nah,
No.
like New Jack was like, yo, hey, what did he say in that one fucking? He was like, hey, OJ, keep doing what you're doing.
yeah.
Well, I mean, he's not going to play it to that. Like you're going to get the PG version of that. But I'm like, isn't that kind of the whole point of him like going to like
what they're doing now is not gonna last. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna fucking because all he did on fucking SmackDown was attack Cena twice. He got a match with him next weekend, this Friday coming up, and I'm like, what are you gonna do with this character?
Dude, what if they take the title off Cena and put it on Ron Killings? That'd be some crazy shit that WWE would do.
But it's not a title match.
Oh, it's not. Oh, okay. Well, then he might actually go over then. He might actually go over that if it's not title.
With help, or like he might just he might either he's probably gonna get disqualified for just going crazy and beating him up type shit, right? I'm in the driver's seat. Now I don't like again, I would hope this wouldn't be like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde bullshit that they're doing. Like I said, I could not stand that character. I hated it because of what it represented. But he did the job. He was getting paid well for it, so I guess whatever. But
Look,
they're gonna ruin this. They're gonna ruin this shit.
Every circus needs a clown, right? Like we all can't be like two named badasses, right? But at the same time, like, goddamn, yo, it's a dude that big and that black, and with a voice with a country twang, like it just it's Spike Lee's worst fucking nightmare.
It was
You know
fucking
what I'm saying?
bamboozled, yo.
Right, like, it just kind of is, man. And you know, but kids like him and all that.
Yeah,
I
that's why.
get it.
Like the people, apparently he's like the most loved dude in the back, next to like what's the big dude now? The dude, the bow-legged nigga. What's his name? Damian Priest. God damn.
Okay.
Apparently everyone loves Damian Priest also. Like he's bow-legged. It's fucking hilarious. I've never seen a bow-legged wrestler. It's very funny. Or knock-kneed wrestler. But it's fucking hilarious. But yeah, apparently everybody in the back loves him, and like the kids love him. They make people. He made people laugh, and that's just, that rubbed me the wrong way. They were like, he's so fucking entertaining. It makes me laugh.
I just gotta think of it like, you know, every circus needs a clown, and everybody likes the
Okay.
clowns. So look,
If
it's
you
fine.
if you say so, yeah.
It's fine. But I 100% understand where you're coming from. But at the same time, like they brought him back, they're not gonna do nothing with it.
Wasn't a work. It wasn't a work because it doesn't make
No.
any sense.
He was
Like-
apparently he was literally
His contract
taking
was
taking indie bookings like in the aftermath, and then all of a sudden things
right.
things flipped
Triple H
around.
gonna come out and say, "Enjoy the show." I'm like, nigga, you lying ass.
Yeah,
Fucking like, y'all just got over him. And
But
the crowd was like, "That's fucked up," and y'all brought him back because it doesn't
I
make
hope he
sense. Y'all
got-
were clairvoyant enough to know that, hey, we're gonna run this angle that we're gonna get rid of our truth, and then the people are gonna get really mad at us for it. And then we're gonna bring him back. How does that make any sense? It don't.
Yeah, and to make sure that we fool them, we're not gonna renew Carlito and Valhalla. That'll really throw people off the scent. Look, I hope that
Anyway.
dude. I hope that dude got paid. I hope that dude.
He's got his own-
fleeced
he's-
billionaires for as
he
much
took
as
his
he
name.
possibly could.
Yeah, he took his old name, his real name, so he can, when he leaves, they don't have a copyright on his name. So he
Right.
did that. He was like, "Nah, fuck that. This is my name." So that's why he was going to Ron Killings, which is dope. But they're gonna ruin it. They're gonna fuck it up because like the WWE fucking sucks right now. Like you said, it sucks.
It stinks,
It
man.
just does.
It really stinks.
Anyway.
And they got Punk going to Saudi Arabia, Brad.
Oh,
Yo,
look, man. I'm just saying there's a reason that the
shit.
official color of all those shows is always green. It's not just because it's on the fucking flag, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
so
my
Everybody's
God.
got a price, man.
oh,
Like,
everybody does. Fuck's sake, man.
that
Absolutely.
was crazy. When he was like, "You got to come to Saudi Arabia." That's fucked up.
Yeah, he's probably like, "Fuck you," and they're like, "Here's $3 million," and he's like, "All right, cool." Like, yeah, like I'll go
And his
wrestle.
reasoning is like, "I'll go to hell to fight you for this belt." I'm like,
That's a pretty good
Touche.
story, pretty good storyline reasoning. Like pretty good way to pave over that one.
They tried to, you know, they did a decent job of, you know, like, oh, they're making me do it, guys. I got to do it to save. But at the same time, he started that promo off like, well, but I'm not doing it for the company. I'm doing it for them.
doing it for
no,
the fans.
You know, no, you're not. You're not. You're a corporate guy, man.
I mean,
you
like-
literally said when you came back, he's like, "I'm here to make money." That's what you
Right.
said.
I mean, again,
That's exactly
like
what
the writing was on the wall, where, like the writing was on the wall for Saudi Arabia, like, and we all knew what that was. When literally, the one guy that actually stuck to his fucking guns and was like, "I'm not coming back. I'm not doing one more match. I'm like the match at WrestleMania was too important. The series of matches against the Undertaker was too big. I don't want to cheapen it. I don't want to like ruin it by just come back for one more match." And they're like, "Hey, Shawn Michaels, here's a shitload of money." And he's like, "I'll
Oh,
come back
right.
for one more match."
And then fucking what's his name
And
almost
guess
killed
what?
himself during that match.
Hey, here's a shit ton of money. There's enough money. Guess what, guys? I'll even cut my hair. How about that? Like, get out.
Right, he did. Didn't Triple H almost didn't
He
blow out his
tore.
quad again or
He
his
did.
shoulder? What-
In fact, he
Yeah, one
did.
of those.
Yes.
Yeah,
In that match.
good on you. That's what you get.
Yeah.
Like,
So.
yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so that at that point the rating was on the fucking wall. Like frankly, I'm shocked that Goldberg's retirement match isn't going to happen in Saudi Arabia because Lord knows that dude loves a payday when he can fucking get it.
Wait, when is it? When is his retirement?
I don't know.
He's wrestling-
Apparently he's supposed to come back tonight. I'm sure he's going to get into it with Gunther. And
he's wrestling Gunther as his final match. I don't know where.
right, but I think it's going to be in Atlanta. I think it's going to be on
Is it?
Saturday night's main event. Yeah, it's not going to be at the Saudi
Oh, okay.
show.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
it's not gonna be in Saudi. It's probably gonna be in Atlanta. I can't imagine Goldberg is gonna travel much for.
He went to Saudi Arabia because he was.
Yeah, he's done it a couple times. He likes getting paid too.
He almost killed the Undertaker in Saudi Arabia.
That's right.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. He dropped the Undertaker with his kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So yes, it's just all
WWE kinda
bad.
sucks right now. So
yeah.
Corporations. I mean, I know it was like essentially it was $1 billion mom and pop fucking operation. KO.
Yeah. So
Mr. Man's a piece of shit, but like, I don't know if he would have been like, yo, let's put Fireball on the fucking Fireball whiskey
Yeah, he
on the ladders, nigga. Like, come on, man.
yeah, if one thing he knew, it was his branding, right?
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't cheapen his brand, but like, you know,
This shit is sad. It's just sad. I'm like,
it
God
is sad. Like, and again, I'm not saying this to drag AEW when I say it. I understand AEW doing that shit because they don't have the bankroll. Like they don't have the fucking influx, like the inflow of cash coming in to the same extent that WWE is. Like I know that fucking Tony Khan and his dad are fucking billionaires. Like I get that, but it's not like they have
like
like
a side project for him.
yeah, like it's not like they have sponsors like dumping bags of money on them to sponsor AEW wrestling. So I get why they take what they can get and they put ads on the canvas and all that shit. Like so, like for them, it makes sense. WWE, you don't need to fucking do that shit. You don't need to do
you
it.
really don't. Yo.
You really don't. You didn't need the release. You didn't need to release our truth. It was like us budget cuts, nigga. You just charged $35,000 fucking ticket. Like,
But Terrence,
like, what are you talking
are
about?
they making all the money? Like I know they're making a shitload of money, but are they
yet.
literally getting every cent out of every single person that they possibly can to enrich their shareholders? Not even enriching anyone like that works for the company, enriching the shareholders, of which the executives hold a copious amount of shares. So they're enriching themselves. I seriously doubt that a lot of the rank and file employees of WWE have a lot of options vested, let's say, in their TKO stock right now. So
Yeah, man. I always wanted to go to a WrestleMania, right? I told my wife that. She was like, well, maybe I can do that for you one day. I said, look, don't bother if we got to spend 4 digits for me to sit up there with Zeus and Jesus while watching wrestling. Like, there's no way. No.
Nah, that's
it's
crazy.
just not worth it.
no.
And then they're going right back to fucking Las Vegas because money.
Well, no, I think that was more because they their deal. I don't remember where they were supposed to be.
And they're supposed to go to New Orleans.
That's right, and I think that fell through.
It fell
this next
through,
year.
but then they could have chose somewhere else. But they
But they already had the relationship there,
Yeah,
and
Vegas.
it's a town.
There's
that's set up
money.
for that
No,
shit.
it's money.
It's absolutely
It's set up for money. Like,
It's
that's what
absolutely
set up
money. And look, like I used to love going to fucking sports events live all the time, wrestling live too, but it's so overrated. Like you get older, like if my kid cared about going to that shit, like I probably could suckered into it, but he doesn't give a shit. So like, it's just easier to watch it on TV, honestly.
And again,
Yeah.
and the product is not good.
Not right now.
It's just not.
Not right now.
It's a double-edged sword with the kid, right? Because like, if my kid is into like, football, I'm screwed, right? Because like, the 2 teams around here are good, right?
The Commanders are good now. I don't necessarily know if that's gonna last.
It might not last. Well, ain't no way. I'm walking into ain't no way I'm going to a Commanders. Get out of here.
What if they were playing the Ravens though? Then you could do it.
I have done that.
Yeah.
I do that. But like, if he likes basketball, like the Wizards stink, man. Like it'll be cheap, but like, man, you better you're
like
a Cats
watching.
fan. You call Ted Leonsis. You tell him, look, either shit or get off the pot, man. Like you give up the fucking Wizards and give it to a guy, sell it to a guy that will change the name, right? Because Wizards is a stupid name for a basketball team.
Look! That would have fucking happened if it wasn't for Gilbert Arenas' dumbass. Like they were this close to making the name change, and then he got caught with the whole fucking that whole situation where he pulled out a gun in the locker room and shit like that. They're just like, yeah, like we can't be the Bullets again. Sorry, it's not gonna happen.
You fucking idiot.
First of all, Washington Bullets is hilarious.
Considering.
Well, it was Baltimore Bullets first. They had some nice alliteration.
Baltimore Bullets.
Baltimore
that's-
Bullets, that's still very funny.
Hey,
Because they moved up and down the court as fast as bullets, right? You couldn't think of anything else that moves quickly other than bullets.
not that started with a B. Like I got to get that alliteration in there, So,
Oh shit!
dude, trust me, Ted Leonsis, I think can only care about one franchise at a time. I'm just happy he didn't move the fucking team to Northern Virginia. Like that was the thing we were all freaked out about last year. Is he's like, yeah, I'm gonna build a new arena in fucking Arlington. We're like, no, the fuck you aren't, you dumb bitch. Like I wasn't trying to drive to fucking Nova to go watch a fucking Cats game. No, thank you.
Damn. So who do you want to win the King and Queen of the Ring?
Who's in it?
I don't even know. Cody Rhodes. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, sure, Cody Rhodes. Why not?
Cody.
And
It's fine.
and Asuka, because she's wrestling tonight. I'd rather see I haven't seen Asuka. I love Asuka.
My fantasy
whatever.
booking blew up when I would have had Punk win. I would have had Punk beat Cena at SummerSlam. Then this would start John Cena's very quick redemption tour, and then I would have had him going through his depressive phase, and in one or two more matches, he would be getting his ass beat, and then all of a sudden here comes R-Truth, his biggest fan. He's like, "No, you could do it, John. You my biggest fan. Oh, I'm your biggest fan, even though I'm 53 years old, and you could do it, right?" And he would have been the thing to get the crowd to like spur John Cena on to become Super Cena once again. Do what the magical Negro is supposed to do, and big up the white man. Right? Like if you're gonna play that role, there's the ultimate opportunity for the magical Negro to come in and help Bagger Vance to ease Tom what the fuck is that?
Holy shit, 3 people are gonna get that reference. Oh my god.
Man. like you could do it, white man. And to help Calvin Candy whip them slaves, right? You can do it, white man. Like and there it is. But they messed it up. That's why they ain't got nobody.
Fucking hate
they
that.
don't have no real writers.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like I don't know what them writers are doing, but like
writing this shit, and it's bad.
Like he had a honeymoon phase. That shit is straight fucking
It's
over.
over. It's over.
Oh.
This shit is terrible.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's completely directionless. Everything is directionless. There's no like real stories outside. Like Cena and Punk had amazing matches in the early 2010s. They just did. All of their matches were fucking dope. They're old. Like fucking Punk is in his best shape he's ever been in, honestly. But he's fucking 45 years old. Right? So it's kind of like okay. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck it. Cody Rhodes. I like Cody. I don't know. I like his mic skills. As far as the women, don't even matter. Like, what's her name has the belt? What's her name has the goddamn case, and Naomi has the briefcase. She's like I said in our chat. Naomi's doing her best work right now.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's now. You know what I'm saying? When the product fucking sucks. I just want to get the belt. I just want Naomi to get the belt. I don't give a fuck about nothing. And I'm glad that Jey Uso is no longer the fucking champ.
I am too, bro. Go back to tagging. Go back to tagging.
Because
I really,
like, he didn't even seem like he wanted the shit. Like every time he came out, he just seemed like he was fucking impossible. Right? Didn't seem like he was just like, I got it, and I'm gonna go ahead and eat for fucking 5 minutes, and then be out of breath when I get into the ring. What?
Right.
Like get your cardio up, nigga. Like
You're catching a cramp doing that stupid ass yeet and shit.
Y'all really
For
just
10
dislike that character. I don't get it. I will never understand.
So look, I told everyone that we were going to catch up in the post office this week. I did not expect a 30-minute tangent based on how offended Terrence and Micah were over the portrayal of black wrestlers in the current day product of WWE.
How many black wrestlers have actually won the WWF title? Not the world title that they brought in. Not the one they brought in when they bought WC. The WWF title, the one that fucking
like 4?
Roman Reigns has, the one that fucking Cody Rhodes had, the one that Cena
All right,
has now.
I got to think about this.
Like,
Not Booker T. No, Booker T did. Booker T won.
No, we didn't. Nope.
No, you're right.
Big
You're right.
Goldie.
You're right.
Not The Rock. He don't count because he's black
Rock
when he
don't
needs
count.
to be.
He's Samoan coded. I'm in the racial draft. I am more than fine letting the Samoans
All right.
have.
Hang on then. So Bobby Lashley won that belt.
He did.
Mhm.
He did. He won
Yeah.
that belt.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. He at least was Universal Champion, if not WWE Champion. He did. You can't discount it.
Okay, I guess.
His belt had a big WWE logo in the middle of it.
Yeah, it was Bobby Lashley.
Okay, Bobby Lashley.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Raheem Rhodes. So Bobby Lashley.
I am struggling to think of anyone else. So
Bobby Lashley, Big E, Kofi.
oh, Big E, yeah, Kofi, yeah, Kofi.
I don't know if Kofi had that.
No,
belt.
he
I
did.
thought
He
had the other
did.
belt.
No, he did.
He had
the WWE
He
Championship.
had the WWE
Yes.
Championship. He had the
Okay.
WWE Championship.
Yeah.
Big E had that one too.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you-
Rikishi over there complaining about Jey Uso having 51 days, and you can't even remember that Big E was champ.
The
He went on-
WWE champion.
Yeah.
Yes, he even went on the Breakfast Club with the belt.
I don't remember that shit.
Exactly.
Because it was over. Because it was over in a split, so that we could get Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the 15th time at WrestleMania. So
I think
I
that's
remember
it, man.
Kofi. That's
I think
three,
it's
dog.
I think it's Kofi, Bobby, Big E, and if you want to count The Rock, then half of that. So 3.5.
This is what I'm saying now. The WWF is that's like 70 years old. Like, come on, So Rikishi, fuck off, nigga. Like, the fact that Jey Uso got that belt, and technically it wasn't the WWE fucking World Champion belt, but like the fact that he got it, he's lucky he got that shit because that nigga sucks. Single. Anyway, I just don't like the way we've been treated in the WWE. That's it. As you clearly heard with our 40 minutes worth of hating on them.
look, we're giving the people what they want. We know you love this. We know it. So, but that's gonna be a show. Again, post office densepixels.com/fans. We will definitely answer the other questions that are in there on the next episode, plus whatever else you guys drop in there. You can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/densepixels. You can find us wherever you find podcasts. Search for TNP Studios. You'll find us. You'll find Black and Black Cinema, the Apocalypse. Look forward. If you want to support us with zeal, support independent media. Go to densepixels.com/premium and give us $5 a month to let us know that you appreciate what we do. That's going to be it. The video games, the indie games are back. They never left. They've been good
Yeah,
for a long time. So thanks very much for watching and listening. We'll see you all the next time. You're watching the Dense Pixels YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button while you're here and make sure you check out our weekly podcast where we discuss the latest gaming news and our impressions on what games we've been playing.